How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. We're going to be talking about everything Ethereum with you guys. A lot of requests coming in, from the Ethereum family. Crypto ZX, give us an update on ETH, and that's exactly what I'm bringing you guys. If you guys are enjoying these updates, smash that like button, hit that red subscribe button to let me know you're enjoying this, and I will try my best to bring you guys daily Ethereum updates. But Ethereum has been gaining so much momentum right now, and that momentum is something we don't want to be ignoring. And if you do watch my XRP updates, we highlight that quite a bit. But today specifically, we're going to be focusing on ETH, really understanding what's really happening right now. So as far as the broader market is concerned, on the 24-hour scale, you're seeing some coins up right now, but majority of the market is seeing a little bit of a retracement. Remember, we're in a weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual due to the fact that CME futures are closed. We need to keep that factor in mind, which a lot of people tend to forget quite fast. But I want you guys to really understand how good Ethereum is performing. It's up 21.6%. And I know a lot of people are going to come out and say, well, Crypto ZX, a lot of other coins are up. We're talking about the second largest coin by valuation, up 21.6%, pretty much balancing itself out with the broader market. That itself should tell you that ETH is gaining a lot of momentum, and of course on the monthly time frame, up 41%. So if you're looking at the price of ETH, $4,185.62, we're up about 0.4% in USD comparative, down about 0.5% in BTC. Valuation sitting at $500 billion, so $500 billion in terms of the valuation, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $34 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So Ethereum is now one of the top 25 largest assets in the world. And whenever I look at the way Ethereum climbs, it just kind of gives me that, feeling of, missing out big. But, I got to be quite honest with you. I've shared a lot of stories on my channel. I think I had my fair share of, great moves as well for multiple coins. And obviously, you're going to have that hindsight feeling of I wish I held my ETH, or I wish I was accumulating more, because I'm sure if you guys know on this channel, I joined this crypto space, really started digging very, very deep into crypto back in 2016 when Ethereum was $6 a coin, and I've seen it with my own eyes when ETH was $6, and I've seen Ethereum at $80, and I've actually bought ETH at those prices. But it's crazy to see how far things have come, and the demand that it's getting. The fact that Ethereum is the top 25th largest asset in the world should tell you something. This is huge, and of course it's institutional demand that is driving this. So much obviously is happening for the crypto space, to be specific. Let's not forget what we're seeing happening for crypto in general. We're actually getting into that mass adoption phase, and regulation is coming. We're seeing regulatory clarity towards this industry, and I'm sure if you're an OG ETH holder, you are obviously familiar with what kind of hurdles this crypto space has gone through, and now we're here with things really happening, and you're actually seeing the institutional demand coming towards these digital assets. But look at this. Ferrari now accepts Ethereum payments in the US and Europe. So if you're based out in the US or Europe, and you are wanting to cash out some of your ETH that you've accumulated over the years and buy yourself a Ferrari, guess what? You could do that solely with your Ethereum directly. And this itself should tell you that other companies are wanting to get exposure. And I think in terms of timing, do you think Ferrari is not thinking strategically? Think about it. If Ferrari were to think that, hey, you know what, we're going to think ETH is about to top out or something, why would we accept, Ethereum as a payment for our products if, the Ethereum price is going to plummet? Obviously, in even short term, they're projecting, because Ethereum is yet to hit a new all-time high, and there's projections from the longest time, about 5 years back as well. If you kind of go back 4 or 5 years ago, we're talking about a potential 10,000 ETH. Could that really happen this time around? But when you look at the way we see Bitcoin moving, with the way inflows are coming for Bitcoin, but what makes us think ETH can't do that? Because Ethereum is still, in terms of valuation, still a $500 billion. So could we see ETH at $8,000 to $10,000? In my personal opinion, that is not an unrealistic thing, to be thinking about for ETH based off of what we're seeing. And you need to focus on the major thing, which is, of course, institutional interest coming in and RWAs, of course. And obviously, when that tokenization, remember, tokenization is a forefront of conversation, and this is where Ethereum could really take advantage of it. And there's so many obviously positive things happening for ETH. And look at this, the ETH supply squeeze is real. Only 18.8 million Ethereum left on exchanges. This isn't retail. This is smart money draining liquidity. Supply is vanishing. And of course, remember, Ethereum is a proof of stake consensus, meaning you could stake your ETH. And speaking about staking your ETH, right now, at this current state, about 30% of the entire circulation of Ethereum is staked right now. And with the way more and more institutional interest comes towards Ethereum, I think more and more of this is going to be staked. The benefit of that is when you do see more coins that are off circulation, that means obviously there's less coins, in supply, meaning supply and demand factor, and maybe institutions are going to start locking their ETHs into, these staking reward platforms, depending on which one they're doing, and just kind of compounding their overall gains that they earn, like the rewards. So very, very interesting stuff happening for ETH right now. But what the biggest thing that I want you guys to focus on is with the way the dominance is plummeting. And obviously paying attention to the inflows as well on ETF. We're actually seeing ETF inflows on Ethereum larger than BTC itself. So is this time where you do see market makers, even Bitcoin whales, starting to, kind of scale back into Ethereum because they think Ethereum could be next up? But if you're looking at the dominance dropped below, our July low, and we did come down to 59.79%, but we have picked up over the last few hours, and that is due to BTC seeing a little bit of a minor pullback. You can see, we actually flushed down to 117,576, but we are picking up once again. But look where we went up to. Bitcoin did reclaim back above the 119,000 almost just a few hours back, and that is quite impressive. Keeping in mind that, we're in a weekend as CME futures are closed. But of course, this retracement that you will see, we came up to the likes of 117,000. We came down to 118,700, came down to 117,500. Of course, this is going to cause a market retracement, which in return cause the dominance to go up. And in the grand scheme of things, dominance is still, heading towards a downwards trend, which I think is a positive thing in a grand scheme of things. And I still do project that, we did breach below the 60%. I think we are going to see it continuously make our way down. And of course, that is going to benefit altcoins, including ETH. But speaking about ETH, let's give it a refresh live here because ETH is showing 4,300, which is not correct. But I want you guys to kind of take a look at Ethereum on the bigger scale. I think this would work. Yeah, this should work, but let's just take a look at the weekly time frame just in case. You can see this for yourself. So right now we have entered into the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. Last time we were here was back in December. This itself should tell you where we really are for ETH. And we have retested the $4,346 price point for the first time since 2021. We're in the all-time high territory. The 23.6 is that zone, and I do personally project there's not much resistance now left for ETH to start heading towards the 4,800 range. After that, you guys know we enter price discovery mode, and things can start heating up quite fast. And as we are going into a brand new week, obviously we're going into Sunday morning right now, but as we enter the brand new week, we are looking amazing for ETH right now, showing tremendous amount of bullish momentum. Just this April, you could have gotten ETH at $1,452, and we're looking at an increase of about 200% for the second largest coin in the crypto market, which is insane to think about. I am projecting, if we're able to make our way up to $4,400, I could even see ETH projecting a new all-time high even this upcoming week based off of things that are happening. Of course, as we are going into the month of September, a lot of people projecting the rate cut to take place, which of course, I think will have a positive impact on crypto markets. And I think ETH is also going to benefit out of here. But a lot of people are, starting to look at ETH as, what it reminded them of Bitcoin in the early stage, because of course institutional demand is there right now for ETH. So if Ethereum continuously gets evolved and is, getting a lot of accumulation inflows, then, sky's the limit at the end of the day. But remember, have your exit strategies in place. But if you're in for the next 5-10 years, then again, patience is your number one key to follow. But still, if profit taking is part of your strategy, you still want to lock some profits in, stick to those strategies. I do personally believe we're gonna see Ethereum, get into the price discovery mode. And again, a lot of people think $8,000 to $10,000, Ethereum is unrealistic. But based off of the inflows itself that we're seeing, I personally am not writing it off, for ETH to reach those valuations and those price points. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you want to see more of these updates, do let me know. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX and peace.